Hello jobbergs! Welcome once again to my channel. This is Sir Job and welcome to Sir Job TV. Para sa lahat po ng mga new explorers tsaka newly discovered pa lang po ang aking channel, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for you to be updated with my future videos. So welcome once again with our discussion of MELC number 7. So this is the phase 2 or the continuation of our lesson yesterday. So I hope po that you already watched the first video that I released yesterday so that you could be able to connect with our lesson for today. So we are still in the discussion of political organization, but for today's video we will focus our attention on the idea of authority and legitimacy. Welcome to my video number 72. So good morning once again, Golden Jobbergs. Welcome back again sa ating video lesson in understanding culture, society, and politics. So today is January 26 and today is Tuesday. So welcome once again sa aking daily vlog here sa aking YouTube channel. So once again, I just wanna grab this opportunity to say thank you for all those Golden Jobbergs who keep on watching those videos that I already uploaded sa aking mismong YouTube channel. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. So let's proceed with our discussion with the concept of political legitimacy and authority. Yun po ang pinaka-highlight ng ating title, remember kanina. So the task of organizing a political community requires the existence of leaders. Okay? Again, community requires the existence of leaders. Very important po that there's someone who can lead us in anything that we have to face. Kaya sabi ko, in our country, let us help our president to overcome this particular situation. Not just have to give our clamors and everything else with regards to the performance of our president. Because after all, remember, there's a statement, the downfall of your government is also the downfall of your people. Okay? So, do you want to have that in your own country? Ako, personally, I don't want, no? Na mag-decline ang Philippines because I know the history of this country, no? A lot of people who fought for our freedom and then after all, you have to sacrifice for just this particular situation as we face the pandemic? No. That's hilarious, as I think. Leaders, in order to be effective daw, need to possess authority. Highlight natin yung word na authority. That is considered legitimate by the community. Okay? Authority, meaning to say, I can control my people. Huwag nating tanggalan ng authority ang isang leader kasi kailangan po niya ang isang authority. Kailangan po siya na accountable sa lahat ng mga decisions na ginagawa niya. And of course, a leader should control everything na nangyayari sa kanyang nasasakupan. That's basically the job of our leader. So what is authority in relation to legitimacy? So let us define first the concept of authority in order for us to understand what is really our lesson. Authority is the right to command. Okay, highlight natin basic po na idea. Authority is the right to command. Like for example, if I am the teacher inside a room, I have the authority to command. Authority is observed when an individual has a command to make a person do things. Okay? So, ang decision ng isang leader, okay, dapat i-follow ng mga followers. Such act is a response to that person's perceived power. Okay, that is connected to the concept of power of a certain leader. Okay, kasi meron siyang command as to the virtue of the concept of authority. This person can be your boss, okay, your superiors, or those who hold high positions in the society. So lahat po tayo, meron po tayong kinoconsider na boss, meron po tayong kinoconsider na superior, and anyone na hinahangaan po natin in our community na kinoconsider po natin as our great advisor, our great mentor, and anyone po na pwede nating matrust ang ating mga problems. Okay? That can be considered as a leader. For example, Public officials are elected by the people and granted with the rights to regulate and exercise administrative functions based on the existing laws of the land. Okay? Pag sinabi nating laws of the land, this is our constitution. Particularly in the Philippines, we have our 1987 constitution. It doesn't mean na ang leader natin is powerful, meron siyang immunity against all the demands na pwedeng mangyari sa kanya. Still, he is governed by our 1987 constitution. Take note of that. Okay, unlike before, during the time of Marcos going back, pwede kasing i-control ng isang president ang constitution. Kaya ngayon po sa ating modern times, especially as stipulated in the 1987 constitution, hindi na po ganun ka-powerful ang president, okay, to change anything in the constitution while he is in the office. So, nawala na po ang ganung power ng ating Pangulo. Okay, regulate, rights to regulate and exercise administrative functions. Okay? Authority is more than power. Take note. Authority is more than power. Authority is guaranteed by legitimacy in a formal manner. Okay? Diniscuss ko na po kanina na ang ating president ay still governed with our 1987 constitution. But highlight po natin dito is guaranteed by legitimacy in a formal manner. What makes authority blinding and worthy of obedience is its legitimacy, the concept of legitimacy. Legit, no? Legitimacy gives form to authority in the first place. When we define legitimacy, is a value, okay, whereby something or someone is recognized and accepted as right and proper. Okay, nakuha niyo po, recognized and accepted as right and proper. So that is why in every decision na gagawin po ng isang leader of a certain country, kailangan po talagang naka-base to our constitution. Otherwise, people will no longer follow for that particular leader. Okay? Kaya nga dito sa Philippines, hindi na naka-adjust yung ating mga co-Filipinos because we have our new leader now. No, iba ang presentation ng ating Pangulong Duterte to the administration, no? To the previous administrations na na-experience po ng ating mga fellow Filipinos. So that is why medyo nanibago po ang people. But still, if we have to analyze, ang Pangulo po natin still nakabase pa rin po siya sa ating constitution and still nakabase pa rin po siya sa concept of legitimacy in the first place. For authority to be binding and stable, it must be legitimate. Kaya nga minsan, pag may mga leaders in a certain organization or a group, pag nakagawa po siya ng katiwalian, for example, ang grupong ito nagkaroon ng corruption, no, ng kanilang funds, automatically mawawala po ang trust po ng mga followers. Basically, nakakatakot po ang posisyon ng isang leader kasi one mistake might ruin the entire image of your administration. That's basically very important that we have to control. No, kasi wherever we go in the world, for as long as nagawa mo na po or nawala na po ang trust ng tao sa iyo, that will create ripple effects to the rest of your services. Yan po ang pinaka-challenging na part ng isang leader. Kaya nga po we are so very thankful to encounter good leaders in any circle we are part of. Okay, kasi kami dito sa aming profession, we also have our different bosses and we are so thankful pag every time meron kaming bagong principal na magaling po siya sa leadership talaga in handling the people, in handling the fan, and in handling everything about the school. That's very nice. And you will be motivated also to work by having that kind of leader. So I already discussed half of the portion of this particular video. So let us continue our discussion here na makikita nyo po sa whiteboard, which is the WEBER'S 3 types of authority. So, I already discussed to you what is really authority all about. Or if you can recall, authority is the command, is the ability of the person to command and to control the people. If you are a leader, for example, so you could be able to control the people in different ways. So, let us recognize now the presentation of Max Weber as far as authority is concerned. Okay, according to the sociologist Max Weber, there is a category as to how authority is legitimated, okay, as a belief system. So these are traditional, charismatic, and legal rationale. So makikita niyo po dito sa whiteboard ang presentation mismo. Okay, when we are speaking of source of power in the first place, we have here on the traditional part, legitimize from well-established customs, habits, and social structures. Okay, as far as source of power is concerned, we are focusing our attention on the idea of the customs, habits, social structures in the very first place. So punta naman tayo sa charismatic, we have legitimized from the charisma of the individual. Okay, in that particular point, talking about the source of power as far as the authority is concerned. Now let's proceed with our attention on the legal rationale or the bureaucratic, legitimized from the formal rules promulgated by the state through its fundamental and implementing laws. Let's focus on our attention on the idea of fundamental and implementing laws. Pag sinabi nating legal rationale, meaning it's based on the existing policies and regulations, or it is based on the laws and regulations existing in that particular place. When we are talking of the legal rationale, as far as the source of power is concerned, basically. Okay, let's move now to the leadership style. This is the source of power, and now let's proceed to the leadership style. Ano ang mga style nila when we are talking about this particular three categories of authority as far as leadership is concerned? So basically, when we are speaking of leadership style, as far as traditional is concerned, we have historic personality, or meaning to say, momentous or lasting effect, or based on what was happening before, okay, in the past. We are talking about what kind of leadership existing before, yan ang ina-apply ng isang leader in the present time. Because it doesn't mean na nandito ka sa present time, you are not allowed to use leadership styles that were used long before by people, okay, because still we could be able to use them and still applicable. We just have to modify something in order for that particular leadership style to be adaptable still or suitable still here in our society today. Okay? So, we also have here dynamic personality. Pag sinabi natin charismatic, as far as leadership style is concerned, ang application po ni charismatic leader ay dynamic personality. When we are speaking of dynamic personality, meaning to say we are emphasizing that kind of leader is dynamic, meaning to say open-minded, energetic, vigorous, okay, open for changes, okay. And usually ito yung mga famous people, no, that they have that high interpersonal level as how they are going to connect with the public. Very important po ito sa mga politicians kasi when we are talking about charisma to people, basically very important po yan sa lahat ng mga politicians. Okay, let's proceed now with the legal, rational, or bureaucratic. Of course, nakalagay dito sa part niya is bureaucratic, or which means to say governmental. Pag sinabi natin leadership style, as far as the legal, rational, bureaucratic, meaning to say governmental. There is procedure being followed by that particular organization, for instance. Okay? So now let's proceed to some of the examples as to the application of the types of authority presented to us by Max Weber. So we have here example number 1 from the traditional part, the monarchical rule or the rule of the elites in a chiefdom. Okay, traditionally speaking, kasi ito po talaga yung usually nangyayari before. Kagaya ng sinabi ko yesterday, power is inherited. Position in offices as far as leadership is concerned is inherited also. Diba? As I told you yesterday, okay, na kapag ang parents mo ay leader of your community, then therefore you have the chance or you have the privilege to become a leader also of your community or what kind of group you are being part of. Okay? That is what we are talking about, the monarchical rule or the rule of the elites. Kasi usually, ang nagli-lead po long before going back is mga mayayaman po talaga. Yung mga influential people in the society, usually sila po yung nagli-lead sa isang lugar. Okay. As far as the charismatic is concerned, we have here the religious leaders or popular icons such as the movie actors. Take note, if you observe right now sa ating political setup, may mga actors na po or coming from the show business na pumasok na rin po sa politika. Why? Why? Bakit sila nananalo? That's a big question mark. Wala silang exposure sa politics, sa mga laws of the countries and everything about it. Pero nananalo po sila because of the concept of charisma. Because ang mga taong ito, mga popular icons such as mga movie actors na pinapanood po natin sa television. Of course, by that particular influence, people will have to recognize that particular person when he or she is about to run for a certain position in the politics. Okay? So, aside from mga movie actors and popular icons, meron din po tayong consideration on the religious leaders. 'Di ba? May mga tumatakbo din running for presidential candidate, running for the vice president as a position na galing po sa iba't ibang sect ng religious organization. Okay? Like for example, mga Protestantism, they have also their candidate for the president long before. May mga ganong situation po na nangyayari. Okay, coming from the religious leaders and coming from the actors from the show business, tumatakbo din po sila for a certain position in the politics. Now, let's proceed to the legal rationale. We have here the government officials in modern states. Kasi pag sinabi natin legal rationale, we have to focus our attention on the kind of administration, what kind of policy to be done. So, kung titingnan natin ang setup here in the legal rationale, a person is running a certain position in the politics because might be I am a lawyer, might be I am exposed too much in the political setup. Okay? So, matalino siya sa mga pamamaraan how to run a certain government because might be long before, siya ay matagal na naging mayor, matagal na naging barangay captain. That's why after that particular service, he ran for a particular position higher than the office that he is serving long before. So, ganun po ang setup niya. Kaya pag sinabi natin legal rationale here, makikita natin government officials in modern states. So according to Max Weber, this is how you are going to impose your authority the moment you are going to step up from a position of becoming a leader or being a leader, for example. It's up to you where you came from, no? Naging presidente ka ng isang bansa. Saan ka nagmula? In the first place, that's a big question mark. Because as how are you going to implement your authority to people matters the most kung saan ka nagmula or ano ang background mo as a person. So as I said, meron tayong tatlong options. We have the traditional, the charismatic, and of course, the legal rationale. So that will be all for this morning. I hope you learned something from this video and I hope that you will share this video to your friends and to anybody else that you think nangangailangan ng video na ito. Asahan niyo po that Sir Job TV will continue to discuss more meaningful discussions, especially in the field of social sciences. Thank you once again for watching. Bye-bye!